I want you to picture this. For the next 30 days, you eat exactly one meal, not a snack before it, not a bite after it. One window, once a day. Sounds extreme, right? Here's the part that surprised me when I first looked into it. Your body isn't confused by this. It's actually built for it. What confuses your body is what most of us are doing right now. Eating every 2 to 3 hours all day, every day. Let's talk about why that is and exactly what happens day by day if you flip the switch. The meal schedule. You think is normal isn't quick reality check. Nobody's DNA came with instructions that said eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That idea is younger than you'd think. For most of human history, food wasn't sitting in a fridge waiting for you, or actually it was hunted, foraged, or grown, and it showed up on an unpredictable schedule. Long gaps between meals weren't a diet plan. They were just life. If this is your first time here, this channel exists because of you. So before we go further, kindly subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications because tomorrow morning, you're going to want this again. Let's begin. The tidy 3 meals a day structure we treat as biology is really closer to a scheduling decision, one shaped by factory shifts, school bells, and marketing campaigns that needed you to buy something at a specific hour. Somewhere along the way, eat when you're hungry turned into eat because it's noon. Here's the twist. Your body never signed off on that change. It's still running the same internal software your ancestors had. A system that's actually more comfortable with long stretches of not eating than we've been told. So what actually happens in one of those stretches? The hour-by-hour shift. Nobody talks about. In the first few hours after your one meal, your body is doing exactly what you'd expect, breaking down food, absorbing nutrients, storing a bit of extra energy for later. Once you cross into the 10 to 12 hour mark, something changes. The easy access fuel, the sugar your body keeps on standby, starts running low. Your system has to go looking for a backup source, like that backup is fat. By hour 14 to 16, your body has mostly shifted into fat burning mode, and it starts producing a secondary fuel called ketones, a fuel your brain, in particular, seems to run unusually well on. This is around the point people report feeling unexpectedly clear-headed instead of foggy. Then, somewhere past the 16-hour mark, your body flips on a process that basically doesn't happen while you're digesting food. It starts cleaning house. Old, damaged cells and proteins get broken down and recycled. Think of it less like starving and more like your body finally getting a quiet afternoon to do the deep clean it's been putting off. Push toward 20 to 23 hours, which is roughly where you land on a true one meal a day schedule. And that cleanup goes deeper, especially in tissue tied to memory and long-term brain health. This is one of the reasons researchers keep circling back to fasting when they study long-term brain aging. None of this is a fringe theory either. Populations that fast for extended stretches, including large-scale religious fasting practiced by hundreds of millions of people every year, have been studied fairly extensively. Across a wide pool of that research, the consistent findings are lower triglycerides, improved cholesterol markers, smaller waistlines, and better insulin sensitivity by the end of the fasting period. So the science checks out. But knowing the science and living through 30 days are two very different things. Let's walk through what that actually feels like. Days 1 to 3, the adjustment period. Nobody enjoys. Be honest with yourself about this part. It's the hardest stretch, and anyone who tells you otherwise is selling something. Your body has spent years, maybe decades, running on frequent fuel top-ups. Now you're asking it to switch its entire energy system over to fat and ketones, and that transition isn't instant. Expect some hunger, expect a little irritability. Some people get a headache or feel unusually tired around day 2. Here's the part almost nobody mentions. That rough patch is very often not really about hunger at all. It's about sodium. When you stop eating frequently, your body releases a lot of stored water, and your electrolytes go with it. A pinch of salt in your water can be the difference between a miserable day 2 and a manageable one. Push through to day 3, and most people notice something strange. The hunger just quiets down. Not because you're used to being hungry, and because your body has largely stopped asking for sugar and started running comfortably on fat. Days 4 to 7, the turning point. This is where it starts feeling less like a struggle and more like an upgrade. Your body has adapted to burning fat for fuel, and a lot of people report their focus sharpening noticeably around this point. There's a real biological reason for that. Extended time without food appears to boost a protein your brain uses to build and strengthen neural connections. Interestingly, this effect doesn't show up if you simply eat the same number of calories spread across several small meals. It seems tied specifically to the gap between meals, not just the amount of food. You might also notice your mood evens out. That tracks with research showing that infrequent eating tends to lower cortisol, your stress hormone, rather than raise it, which surprises most people, since we're conditioned to think not eating equals stressed body. One quick note. If sleep gets weird during this stretch, it's almost always the same electrolyte issue from days 1 to 3. A little extra salt in the evening tends to fix it fast. Days 8 to 14, settling in. By the second week, the routine stops feeling like a project and starts feeling like, well, just how you eat now. Energy is steadier. The all-day grazing urge is basically gone. This is usually where people start noticing changes in how their clothes fit, less bloating, and a general sense of lightness that's hard to fully explain until you've felt it. Days 15 to 30, where the real repair happens. This back half of the month is where one of the more surprising shifts kicks in. Extended time without eating has been linked to a significant rise in growth hormone, the hormone most responsible for repairing muscle, tendons, and connective tissue, and for supporting fat loss. Reported increases vary a lot between individuals, which makes sense, since hormone response is highly personal, but the direction is consistently upward across the research. This is also the stretch where a lot of people report the clearest gains in mental sharpness and physical recovery. Old aches easing up, better workout recovery, a sense that your body is actively rebuilding itself, not just surviving on less food. What you actually put on the plate matters. A lot. Here's the part people skip, and it's the part that determines whether this experience feels amazing or leaves you running on empty. Since you're only eating once, that meal has to work hard. Prioritize real, high-quality protein. Fatty fish, eggs, grass-fed meat, shellfish. Bring in nutrient-dense vegetables, healthy fats like avocado, and if you can stomach them, fermented foods like sauerkraut or kimchi for gut support. This isn't the meal to go light on food quality. It's the one meal your entire day's nutrition depends on. And a genuinely important note, this approach affects people differently. Postmenopausal women, in particular, can be more prone to muscle loss on an extended eating window like this, largely due to hormonal shifts that happen with age. If that's you, it doesn't mean this approach is off the table. It just means protein intake and timing deserve extra attention. As always, if you have an existing health condition, take medication, or you're pregnant or breastfeeding, talk to a doctor before making a major change like this. Fasting is powerful, but powerful things deserve respect. The bottom line. 30 days of eating once a day isn't just about weight. It's about giving your body long enough stretches of no new food coming in that it finally gets to do the repair work it's been postponing for years. The first 3 days test you, the next 4 convert you, and the back half of the month is where most people say it stopped feeling like a diet and started feeling like a reset. If you're curious what your body's actual bottleneck is before you try something like this, like sleep, stress, gut health, whatever's really holding you back, kindly subscribe to our channel, like the video, and drop your comment too. That's usually the more useful starting point. Worth figuring out before you change anything else. See you in the next one.